Okay, so we're starting off in sitting, and this is a Bazu ball, but we're going to pretend that it's a BAPS board. And what this is, it's working on ankle proprioception mobility. So this is probably something you do in the first 1 to 3 weeks with someone with for ankle stability. And so you're going to move front and back, forwards and backwards. Make sure that your patient is sitting up tall. Their knee is stable, it's aligned right over the ankle, and they'll do that for about a minute. And then they can move side to side. So like a 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, working on inversion, eversion. Do that for a minute. They could roll it clockwise, in a circle. And then they can move it in the opposite direction, and you're watching on how well they control the motion. So proprioception responds to change in position, movement, and when you stand, when you see some of the other standing exercises, the deep pressure. Okay, we're going to start with bilateral static balance on a stable surface. And this is the next progression after the sitting. So first she's going to stand with her feet together. You can cross your arms in front of your chest if you want to, eyes open, and they stand there for 30 seconds. And you're checking on their static balance. And then the next one is after 30 seconds, they can close their eyes. And if they're doing really well, they can move their head from side to side. Good. And then we'll progress from there for unilateral, so they'll lift one foot off the ground. And they'll hold that for 30 seconds. And then they'll close their eyes and they'll do that for 30 seconds. And again, you're checking for how well they control the motion. And then you can advance it by having them turn their head side to side on this one as well. And this is for ankle balance and proprioception.
Same squat, just switching it up from...
Okay, so now this is more of a dynamic exercise of the ankle. It's still testing proprioception and balance. And she's going to start with her toe, and I have the marker set for clock, so she can move from 12 o'clock back to 12 o'clock. They can work around the clock, go to 1 o'clock. They can go out to 90 degrees out to the side, and that's working on eversion.
Good.
And then they work their way back around the clock to 12 o'clock. And then more of a rotational component, she can come over to the 1 o'clock. And this is working on ankle stability. And when they touch with their toe, it's a little easier. If you wanted to progress them, they could touch with their heel. And they'll have to have more of a mini squat on that one. Strong knees. This is more of a little bit more advanced. So at this point, the patient should be functioning quite well to be doing these exercises. Kim's doing really good. Okay, for the next exercise, it's dynamic and it's unilateral. And so Kim will be going into kind of a mini squat on one leg, and she'll be reaching down. And they don't have to touch the floor all the way, depending on how progressed they are with their ankle. They can touch the ground. They can change and do the clock as well and change direction. This gives more of a rotational component for the ankle. And that's a dynamic unilateral, and their knee needs to be really stable on this. They are still using their hip. Very good.
So progressing from a solid base, we're going to go to an unstable surface. So we have a foam mat here, and we're just going to go ahead and have her put her feet together like we did the first time, cross the arms, and we're just going to check out static balance on an unstable surface. She can hold that for 30 seconds. We're going to advance to eyes closed. She's doing very well. If she can hold that for 30 seconds, go ahead and open her eyes. She can turn her head from side to side. And you have them do about 10 or 20 of those. That's okay. And then we're going to progress to unilateral. She can put her hands by her side. And then again, we progress to the eyes closed. Trying to hold for the 30 seconds. And then eyes open with the head turns. Okay, progressing from unilateral balance on the unstable surface, we're going to throw in some dynamic stability. We're going to have her reach out with her toe and touch the disc. We can go to the 12 o'clock and then to the 1 o'clock, a couple times each, 3 o'clock, and then add in a rotational component, have her come around to the other side. To make it more difficult, you can do a single tap at each one. Doing very well. We can add in the heel tap. With this, you need a little bit stronger quad muscle. So you add in the small squat. Have her keep the hips forward. And the rotational component again. So here we have a balance board. This is next progression up from an unstable surface. This is for your more advanced individuals. So we're going to have her go side to side rocking. It's kind of a weight shift, working inversion, eversion. And then we can always have her turn face the opposite direction, and we can work more plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. If they're doing well with those, you can always have them do a single leg stance. All right, so half foam roll can also be used for an unstable surface. We can have them do single leg balance. And again, like we showed you in the stable and unstable surface, we can have them do the toe touches out to the side. For more advanced, you can do the heel touches, add in the small squat. And then if we have her turn the opposite way, it's going to work a different muscle, the dorsiflexors, plantar flexors. And have her do the single leg stance here. If your patient has progressed through all other stable and unstable surfaces, we have a Bosu ball. This offers an unstable surface in all directions. And right now she's doing bilateral. You can have her put her feet together. There you go. And if need be, if she's mastered that, we can always have her go to a single leg stance. Still using the Bosu ball, we just flipped it over. This works the ankles a lot more with the rounded top. We can have them do just static balancing on the unstable surface. You can add in squats. And again, you can always do all the other advancements that we showed you, either toe taps or heel taps, and advance them that way. So if we have a patient who has a ball at home or has some kids they can throw it to, they can always throw it against the wall also. We can do this. It's more of a dynamic unilateral exercise. When the ball comes back and when they throw it, it's going to throw off their balance and they're going to have to react. And again, they can do this against a wall or with a family member, and any ball will work.